Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has gathered us here for a great gathering, great blessings, gatherings of light, gatherings of the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger. Blessed gatherings that the Messenger of Allah has told us in sound narrations. The angels seek out these gatherings. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has appointed specific angels. Their only job is to look for these type of gatherings. What more can we ask for because of this reward that is in these gatherings? And the angels that surround these gatherings with their wings, but we don't see them. We don't realize the amount of reward. We won't realize the amount of reward that are in these gatherings until we die. And we see in the hereafter in your book of deeds. Don't take them for granted. Even the Messenger of Allah, the sound narration, what did he say at the end of the hadith? Somebody came to that gathering for some other reason. He didn't come to sit and do the dhikr or do salawat. He just came for some other reason. Maybe he came to meet someone or pick something up. What does the Messenger of Allah say? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives them as well. These are people, whoever sits with them, they won't be wretched. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's forgiveness and mercy descends upon them as well. So what a great blessing that we have, and a great time that we have coming together to remember the Messenger of Allah and send peace and blessings upon him, especially in this blessed month. And this is a sign of Iman. If you're not happy with the coming of the Messenger of Allah, لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ, messengers come to you. Like Ustad Mustafa mentioned, قُلْ بِفَضْلِ اللَّهِ وَبِرَحْمَتِهِ فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا. Saying the bounty of Allah and the mercy of Allah, let them rejoice in that. What greater mercy do we have than the Messenger of Allah Rejoice in it, be happy with it. It's a deficiency in your Iman if you're not happy with the coming of the Messenger of Allah There's a problem, mushkilah because the affair is based on love. And we keep the books about Aqidah, how do we define the believer? It's a person that has confirmation on the tongue, taqreerun bil lisan wa tasdiqun fil qalb, and belief in the heart in everything that the Messenger of Allah came with. And it necessitates belief and acceptance as well, and id'an as well. There's acceptance and compliance with everything that the Messenger of Allah came with, and that necessitates acceptance of everything that is connected to him as well, including his blessed birth, That's part of our Iman. That's part of our Iman. If you need a dalil, you don't need a dalil for this. You don't need evidence for this if you don't understand this point. Okay? Great ulama, kibar from the ulama, from every madhab, they don't have any problem with these type of gatherings. You find out a difference of opinion, of course. But what is in your heart? Where is your love? What expression of happiness are you showing? Express it in your own way, that's fine. Don't condemn people who come together and show happiness for the coming of the Messenger of Allah and love, like Mustafa was mentioning. The Bedouin comes to the Messenger of Allah and a lot of us, we are obsessed with eschatology and the signs of the final hour. This Bedouin, he says to the Messenger of Allah, tell me when the final hour is. Meta Sa'a, when's the final hour? We all want to know, don't we? When's the Mahdi coming? When is Isa going to return? You're going to see Isa and the Mahdi and all of these signs of the ends of times. We've seen many of them already appear. Did the Messenger of Allah not say time will come when a man will be with a man and a woman will marry a woman? The people will, Bedouins, barefooted, destitute, impoverished Bedouins will start competing and building lofty towers. We're not seeing these signs already. That's part of the deen as well. It's mentioned in the hadith. So the Bedouin says, when is the final hour? What does the Messenger of Allah say? He says, what have you prepared for it? what have you prepared for it? The man says, not much. I don't have much from fasting. And that's the first thing we ask ourselves, what have we prepared for that final hour? What have we prepared for our death? The Bedouin says, I haven't done many fasts or prayers or charity. He says, but I love Allah and His Messenger. And what does the Messenger of Allah say? He says, and the person is with whoever they love. Some narrations, you will be with whoever you love. Without the love, the prayers and the fasting, it doesn't mean anything. It's meaningless. You can be a hypocrite and pray and fast, like Ustad Mustafa pointed out. But that love is essential for every single believer. And we love everything about the Messenger of Allah. We love his family. We love his companions. When the Messenger of Allah sent some of the companions to Udal and Qara, there were some tribes who recently converted to Islam, and he sent some companions there to spy on the Quraysh. It's a Raji' expedition, they call it the Raji' expedition. Then they get to Raji' and they're betrayed, and they get attacked and they get captured. Two of the companions, they get handed over in slavery to the Quraysh, Hubayb and Zayd ibn Dithinna. And Zayd ibn Dithinna, they take him to Mecca first, and then they want to kill him, they want to execute him. And they take him outside of the Haram of Mecca, because they still respect, shedding blood in the sanctuary of Mecca. And they take him to Tan'im, where you go to renew your Umrah, Masjid Aisha, we call it. They take him outside of the Haram, and they're about to kill him. And he says, let me pray. And he prays very quickly, final prayer. And he says, if it wasn't for me thinking that if it wasn't really giving you the wrong impression, that would make you believe that I'm scared of dying, then I would have made the prayer longer. But I'm not scared here. And Abu Sufyan is here. And Abu Sufyan, he says to Zayd, he says, oh Zayd, I know you wish that Muhammad is in your place now, and you're at home with your family. And Zayd, he says to Abu Sufyan, he says, I swear by Allah, I do not wish that Muhammad is even pricked to the thorn, and I'd be at home with my family. And later Abu Sufyan, obviously we know he accepted Islam, radiallahu anhu, he remarks that, ما رأيت أحدا يحب أحدا كحب أصحاب محمد محمدا. He says, I haven't seen anybody love anyone like the love that the companions of Muhammad have for Muhammad. At the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, when the Messenger of Allah goes to perform Umrah and he gets stopped, then they send Uthman and he doesn't come back, and they get worried. The Quraysh, they send Urwa ibn Mas'ud al-Thaqafi. Again, later he only becomes Muslim as well. And Urwa ibn Mas'ud was a great ambassador for the Arabs. So he goes to speak to the Messenger of Allah. He said, let me speak to him, see what he wants. And he gets and he's being quite rude to the Messenger of Allah and the companions. And he says, who are these riffraff around you? If these lot, they'll run off and leave you behind. They won't be loyal to you. And then Abu Bakr, he talks to him. He says, who's that? He says, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. And otherwise speaking to the Messenger of Allah, and he's grabbing the beard of the Messenger of Allah in the rude manner. And every time he grabs his beard, Mughira bin Shu'bah stood there and he's hitting his hand with the handle of the sword, saying, don't touch the beard of the Messenger of Allah. He says, who's that? He says, it's Mughira bin Shu'bah. He says, you traitor. And he continues talking, and then he goes back to the Quraysh, and later on he remarks that when I was there, when the Messenger of Allah would spit, all of the companions would rush to catch his spit and not let it fall on the floor. When he would perform wudu, they would fight to get the remaining water. When he would command them to do something, they would do it immediately. And that's a lesson for us. The Messenger of Allah commands you to do something, we don't need to hesitate, we do it immediately. And when one of them would speak, they would lower their voices in his presence. And not a single one of them would look him directly in the eye. And later on he says, after he becomes Muslim, he says, I swear by Allah, I've been sent to Caesar, I've been sent to Cosmos, I've been sent to the Negus of Abyssinia. He says, but ma ra'aytu ahadan yu'azzimu ahadan ta'zimi ashabi Muhammadin Muhammadan. He says, I haven't seen anybody venerate anyone like the veneration that the companions of Muhammad give to Muhammad. This is the love, this is the veneration, and that we have for everything that is connected to the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enlighten our hearts with the love of the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam and his family and his companions and all those who follow him with good. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rectify our deeds and our affairs in this world and hereafter, remove any tribulations from us and from our families, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to die upon Iman and to allow us to die upon certainty. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us and forgive our teachers, have mercy upon them and bless them and give them long lives, Ya Rabbal Alameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive everybody who came here today and forgive them and bless them and their families, increase them in all good, increase them in al khair in this world and in here dunya, and allow us to drink from the basin of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the hereafter, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala resurrect us with the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam and the pious and ours to enter Jannah, Ya Ma'al Abrar, Ya Aziz, Ya Ghafar, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. اللهم ادخلنا الجنة بلا حساب ولا محن ولا فتنة لا محن يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه